Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So good to be back on here. We got a good bit to talk about today. We're going to talk about some Stardom. We got Yokohama Dream Cinderella 2021 in the summer coming up. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, 4th of July, Sunday. So going to go over the card for that. Let's see. Going to go over a little bit of New Japan Pro Wrestling with some upcoming events coming up. We just recently had a Never Openweight 6-man trios title defense. So going to go over that quickly. Going to go over some AEW, also including the whole Jim Ross WWE snafus. And then going to go over some WWE as well, and also going to talk about this recent top 50 tag teams according to WWE that was posted on Cage Side Seats. I kind of want to go through that and just give my thoughts on that. But yeah, got ourselves a good show for today. So first, start on off with Stardom. So we recently had the Artist of Stardom trios titles defended. This was Cosmic Angel's sixth defense. And they were able to successfully defend against Oedo Tai. Now that they've gotten that out of the way, Mina Shirakawa and Unagi Sayaka can finally concentrate on their Future of Stardom finals match, which will be at Yokohama Dream Cinderella. There's been kind of some tension lately between those two ladies. Despite being able to get on the same page and to successfully defend the artist titles, there's been some tension between the two, and it's definitely been showing in the recent Stardom shows lately. So now that they got that out of the way, they can finally settle the score at this Future of Stardom Championship finals match. But anyway, let's look at the card for Yokohama Dream Cinderella 2021 in the summer. Like I said, this will be on 4th of July Sunday. So let's go over the card. We have ourselves an interesting gauntlet tag match that puts Lady C and Micah versus Hanan and Hina, so the two sisters, versus Rina and Saki Kashima versus Fukiken Death and Konami. This is interesting. This is very interesting. But it looks like, I guess it's going to be like a gauntlet elimination tag match. So, definitely, these pairings are interesting. I mean, Lady C and Micah, which Lady C lately has been kind of wrestling with Donna Del Mundo members lately. So, that doesn't surprise me too much. And like I said, Hanan and Hina, they're sisters. I believe Hanan, Hina, and Rina, or all three of them are sisters. Rina and Saki Kashima, Fukiken Death, and Konami. I mean, these are interesting pairings. Well, at least Konami, Fukiken Death, not so interesting. Rina and Saki Kashima, definitely. Not sure who wins this, to be honest with you. I mean, I feel like Saki Kashima has been very strong lately in getting pins for Oedo Tai, whether it's singles matches or just in tag team or trios matches. So, I don't know. Rina and Saki Kashima seems reasonable, but I don't know. I think I'm going to keep an open mind for this one. It's only a 15-minute time limit, so I don't expect this to get too crazy, but yeah, interesting match and interesting pairings for that. We have a tag team match. We have Queen's Quest Momo Watanabe and Azumi, Momo Azumi, taking on Starlight Kid and Ruaka. Of course, everybody knows Starlight Kid is with Oedo Tai now, donning the new mask and everything, and it looks like little by little she's embracing her dark side. But this ought to be interesting. Maybe this is a point where they will allow Starlight Kid to get some momentum and get a big victory on a pay-per-view like this representing Oedo Tai. But of course we know that Momo Watanabe and Azumi, of course, they won the Goddess of Stardom Tag League last year. So still a very strong tag team. Um Also 15-minute time limit. This one, I mean, this one could go either way, but I think it'd be nice if Starlight Kid got the victory for her team. But it's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, now let's get into some of these title matches. We got the Future of Stardom title tournament finals match, which the winner of this will become the new Future of Stardom champion. Now, of course, the original story was the previous champion, Saya Ida, unfortunately had to vacate the title due to injury, and it's going to be a while before we see her again. She's still in recovery. So they had a Future of Stardom uh, tournament where the winner of this tournament would be the new champion. And we're now at the finals, and this puts both Cosmic Angels, Mina Shirakawa versus Unagi Sayaka. Ooh, this one's tough. This one's tough to pick. I ultimately feel like Unagi Sayaka has the biggest amount to gain in this because of a lot of her recent booking and a lot of what she's been built up to now. You know, going through that 7 match trial series, losing every match, and then, you know, winning that All-Star uh, Cinderella Rumble. And yeah, I feel like this is setting up for maybe Unagi Sayaka to become champion, but let's not take anything away from Mina Shirakawa. She's been improving greatly, and and this is also a 15-minute time limit. I have a feeling that Unagi Sayaka is going to win, but it's hard to say. I hope for the best for both of these ladies. I like Cosmic Angels. They're a great stable. I just I feel like Unagi Sayaka is going to win. I feel like she's going to end up winning. But it should be good. Should be really good. We got the Goddess of Stardom tag titles on the line as the champions of Donna Del Mundo's Julia and Shuri will take on Stars Mayu Iwatani and Koguma. Mayu and Koguma pretty much formed a pretty solid tag team lately, and they're looking to challenge for these titles. They recently, I believe, Koguma pinned Julia in a recent show, so have some momentum going into this pay per view. But I don't know. Mayu and Koguma could win this match. They could definitely win this match. But something tells me I think Shuri and Julia are probably gonna hang on and get the victory and retain. Mainly because Stars won the previous matchup. But anything can happen. Anything can happen. But I think Shuri and Julia will retain. But it would not surprise me if Mayu and Koguma won. I mean, it would be nice to see Stars have a title. No, nobody in Stars has a title, so just something to keep in mind. And that match is actually a 30-minute time limit. We got the Wonder of Stardom Championship on the line as Tam Nakano, the current champion, leader of Cosmic Angels, will defend against this year's Cinderella tournament winner, Queen's Quest Saya Kamitani. Now, I'm having an issue coming to a conclusion with this match. 30-minute time limit. On one hand, I can see Tam Nakano retaining Mainly because, let's be honest, y'all, she hasn't really defended the title that much since winning it from Julia. I think she's defended it against Natsupoi, and I think that's it. Maybe Starlight Kid. I don't remember. I know she defended against Natsupoi, but yeah, that's it. She hasn't really defended the title that much. She's been more concentrated on defending the Artists of Stardom trios titles with the rest of Cosmic Angels. So part of me feels like that's why there's that chance that Tam Nakano retains. But on the other hand, history shows that the winner of the Cinderella tournament goes on to win the championship that they've chosen, and lately it's been the Wonder of Stardom Championship. So Saya Kamitani has a good chance of winning based off of that. The thing is, and a friend of mine, shout out to Twitter at Joshi Talk, made a good point. It would be really hard to have both the red belt and the white belt on two members of Queen's Quest. I mean, Utami Hayashishita is the World of Stardom champion, and then for Saya Kamitani to win the Wonder of Stardom championship, I mean, those are two major titles held by Queen's Quest, and I can understand that would seem very unlikely. So it just sucks that it has to come down to this because, as I've said many videos ago, I'm a firm believer that Saya Kamitani will win a singles title before the end of this year, and this looks like the best opportunity for her to finally do it. Which, I mean, I know it's only July, but still, like, I don't know, y'all. I'm pulling for Saya Kamitani, but something tells me that Tam is gonna retain. Only because this will only be like her second, maybe third title defense. So I really feel like Tam's gonna retain. It's unfortunate because I want Saya to win so badly, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I hope that it'll be a really, really great match. And then we got the main event, the World of Stardom Championship. The champion, Queen's Quest Utami Hayashishita, will defend against the leader of Oedo Tai's Natsuko Tora. Now, while I am a firm believer that Utami will retain, here's the problem. Oedo Tai hasn't had a championship in a long while. I think the last championship Oedo Tai had, I want to say, was the Goddess of Stardom tag titles held by B. Priestley and Konami. I could be wrong. It may have been the Artist championships, but Oedo Tai hasn't had a championship in a while. So, I mean, it would really be unfortunate for Utami to lose this match after having such a barn burner, slobber knocker, match of the year candidate quality match against Shuri. For her to lose to Natsuko Tora would be really, really bad. Which I'm sure Natsuko Tora is going to cheat. Oedo Tai is going to cheat. I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed they're going to cheat. But I still believe that Utami will retain. It's just something to think about. Just ignore my cat in the background. I'm a firm believer that Utami will retain, but something to think about. Stars and Oedo Tai don't have a championship currently. So, I mean, it's just something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's your Yokohama Dream Cinderella 2021 in the summer card. It looks like a good card. looks like definitely a good card. I mean, we got one, two, technically four title matches. You know, one of them's vacant, but four title matches on this card. So this is looking like a really good card. Definitely looking forward to see who comes out on top, see if we get any title changes. I know we're at least going to crown a new Future of Stardom champion, so that's guaranteed. So, should be good. Should be really good. Looking forward to it. All right, that's it for Stardom. Let's look at some New Japan Pro Wrestling. There was a recent Never Openweight 6-man championship match, as this was on the July 2nd Kizuna Road show, as Chaos made their 7th defense. Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, Yoshihashi defended against 3 legends, Yuji Nagata, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and Satoshi Kojima. This was actually a very great match. I enjoyed every bit of it. It was good and long, and it's great to see, you know, some legends getting in there, showing that they still got it, can still put on excellent matches. And, you know, Chaos, the champs have been on a roll lately. They've been very strong. And this could possibly be one of the best Never Openweight 6-man champions in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. I mean, they got something great going. But they were able to get their 7th defense successfully, as Hiroki Goto finished off Satoshi Kojima with a GTR. And it was good to see sportsmanship afterwards. Like I said, these 6 men are great in the ring, and I definitely enjoyed this match. But that was their 7th defense. Successful defense. And Goto, Ishii, Yoshihashi, they're on a roll. There's no telling who's going to dethrone them, to be honest. They are capable of beating any opposition. And I like it. I like it a lot. So, definitely good to see. But we got a couple of shows coming up as they get ready to transition into Summer Struggle. We got Summer Struggle in Sapporo, and Osaka, and Nagoya. And I think we got a couple of title matches coming up. El Desperado will make his 2nd defense of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Bone Soldier Taiji Ishimori. That's going to be on the July 10th show. Let's see. The July 11th show, we're going to see the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team titles on the line, as the Dangerous Tekkers, Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi, will defend against Sonata and Tetsuya Naito of LIJ. So that should be good. Should be really good. And then they got a tour in Japan for Summer Struggle 2021. And then they'll be in Osaka, and then Nagoya. And then we got Wrestle Grand Slam in the Tokyo Dome July 25th. Which, at least the match that we know so far for that is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, that Shingo will make his 1st defense against Kota Ibushi. They also announced that there's going to be a KOPW match at this show as well. So they're still still building the card. But that's July 25th. And then we got some more Summer Struggle going into August. And let's not forget, we got New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, that tag team tournament in August, the August 14th. So looks like they're going to do everything in one day for that. So quite a bit to look forward to with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So keep an eye out for that. All right, let's go into some AEW. AEW. Now, it started off with tag team eliminator match, which the Young Bucks, the tag team champions, went up against Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo. Of course, Penta and Eddie Kingston win, they get a free tag title shot. And I couldn't help but notice that looks like a lot of the elite, the Young Bucks, I think Brandon Cutler and Kenny Omega got this new facial hair style. It looks kind of goofy, but it done started a trend, I guess. But anyway, this was a great match. There was a lot of interference that took place. I mean, you had Alex Abrantes, you had Brandon Cutler. I mean, you had a whole lot of interference. You had Frankie Kazarian interfere to try to even the odds. I mean, it was chaotic, but still a great match. Still a really great match. There was even a point where the Young Bucks were using the Lucha Bros tag team finisher combo. But this was a very good match. And I mean, of course, these folks have great chemistry in the ring. Ultimately, Penta was able to get the package pile driver and get the victory for his team. Excuse me. So with that being said, Eddie Kingston and Penta El Zero Miedo have earned themselves a future tag team title shot. So, score! Had a segment where Christian Cage congratulated Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus. It's like, thank you, Christian, you're the man. You had his back, I have your back. So, nice little face-heavy segment. All Ego Ethan Page apparently wants to get rid of Darby Allin for good. And he feels like the best way that this can happen is challenging him to a coffin match. Now, of course, there was a segment where Sting comes out with a coffin. Out comes Darby Allin out of that coffin. Goes and attacks Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. Sting kind of comes in to help even the odds. Ethan Page gets mad. He's like, no. No, 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 no. The match is off. No, the match is off. Unless I can get something in writing that you can't touch me, maybe we'll have the match later. But you can't touch me. Coward. All those sneak attacks and attacks from behind that him and Scorpio Sky have done. But now, Darby Allin charges at him face to face. Now the match is off. You can't touch me. You want your match? You can't touch me. Wow. So dumb. So dumb. But if that contract or whatever can happen or something signed, then it's a possibility they'll have the coffin match at Fyter Fest, which they're doing 2 nights of Fyter Fest, so that'll probably be either night 1 or night 2. You have Jungle Boy versus Jack Evans of TH2. Jack Evans did a good amount of high flying, what he usually does. Although I feel like it's been a while since I've seen a Hybrid 2 in a tag team match. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But Jungle Boy was able to lock in the snare trap, made Jackie Boy tap out, and Jungle Boy has his 50th win in his AEW career. 50 wins, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy has been doing very well. And, even despite having a really, really great effort and just coming up short in his AEW title match against Kenny Omega, the dude is still a fan favorite, still can go, and there's so much more to look forward to with Jungle Boy. He'll be a champion at some point. had a segment with MJF. So the idea is one more match between MJF and Jericho, Chris Jericho. But there's a bunch of stipulations that MJF has in order for this match to take place, or, results of this match. There's a bunch of stipulations, but I guess we're going to find out very soon what those stipulations are. We got a match booked for Road Rager. Andrade El Idolo will make his in-ring debut in an AEW ring, going up against Matt Sydal. This actually should be a really good match. I'm hoping they just really go out in his debut match. Looking forward to it. So, yes. We had a segment with Kenny Omega, AEW champion. Came to the ring, got on the mic, and he was pretty much starting to say that pretty much since I've beaten everybody there is to beat in AEW, it's time for me to defend my championship elsewhere. Evil Uno and the Dark Order come out, and pretty much it's like, hold up, you're forgetting about somebody. You're forgetting about the number one ranked wrestler in AEW. Of course, referencing Hangman Adam Page. And pretty much Kenny Omega's like, hey, if you're talking about the person I think you're talking about, I don't think he's has the guts to face me. Why doesn't he speak for himself? Why do y'all have to speak for him? And blah, blah, blah. Which, I mean, he's got a point. He's got a point. But you know something? I'm a firm believer that maybe, just maybe, Hangman Adam Page is probably going to dethrone Kenny Omega. He might actually be the one to do it. He might be the one to do it. I mean, there's going to be some interference, but with the Dark Order and the rest of the Elite, it could work out. It could work out. We'll have to see. But Adam Page still has yet to get his title opportunity. The TNT title was on the line. Miro defended against Brian Pillman Jr., one half of the Varsity Blondes. Brian Pillman, he had some good segments, some good moments. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to dethrone Miro as he locked in the game over and wrenched back on it, and he didn't have a choice. Didn't have a choice but to tap out. Or actually, technically, the ref had to stop the match, but yeah, it was bad. But Miro, still looking strong as the TNT champion. And of course, speaking back more on Adam Page, pretty much came into the Dark Order pretty upset. He's like, what, y'all think I'm afraid of Kenny Omega? What's the deal with y'all? And they just reminded him that, hey, you've waited long enough. It's time for you to capitalize on your opportunity. It's time to go get your title shot, and it's time for you to get the win that we know you can get. Plain and simple as that. So, come on, Hangman Adam Page. You got to go for it, man. I know you got your issues, your thoughts and feelings of the past with Kenny Omega, but dude, you gotta capitalize. You gotta go for it. So, we'll see what happens. Also got an announcement that Brian Cage, Taz announced this, Brian Cage will defend the FTW championship against Absolute Ricky Starks. So they're gonna, I guess, settle their differences in a title match against each other. So I guess I'm cool with that. We had, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. We had the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, teamed up with Rebel, going up against Vicky Guerrero and the native beast, Nyla Rose. Oh, man. I was thinking maybe Vicky Guerrero was going to pull something and get a replacement for her, but nope, that didn't happen. And but the champion did her thing, and I gotta give props for Vicky Guerrero doing her best to hold her own as far as taking bumps and such. She did her thing, but she ended up tapping out to the lockjaw from Britt Baker. Also, unfortunately, word is Rebel had a dislocated knee in this match and was actually taken to the back. They didn't show it on camera, but yeah, she suffered a dislocated knee. Thankfully, she was able to finish out the match, but there's no telling when she'll be able to return to in-ring action. So just another bad break for her. But this is just all more build up to Nyla Rose finally getting a title shot against Dr. Britt Baker, and Britt Baker being able to finally beat Nyla Rose for the first time. Because remember, she's never beaten Nyla Rose. Ever. So I think this is going to build up to her finally doing it. And then the main event, we had MJF versus Sammy Guevara. A very great match. Back and forth. These two tore the house down. This was an incredibly great main event. Of course, there's a lot of shenanigans from the Pinnacle to the point where MJF was able to get the victory. But definitely a very big, impactful main event as the rivalry between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle continues to grow more and more. But I was really shocked to see Sammy Guevara hit the 630 and MJF kick out. I did not expect that. But then again, I believe I believe Sammy kicked out of the Heat Seeker. I could be wrong, but yeah. So these two tore the house down. Most definitely, these two tore the house down. They did a nice video package at the end, pretty much showcasing different shows that they've had, all at Daly's Place throughout the pandemic. Because this was the last AEW Dynamite before they go back on the road again. Like I said, next week will be Road Rager at Miami, Florida. And then I'm looking forward to Fight for the Fallen, which that'll be in Charlotte. I'll be at that show, so looking forward to that. But they did a nice video package at the end, and it was great. It was really, really great. I got to give AEW a lot of credit for holding down the fort at Daly's Place, having their shows, throughout the pandemic, continuing to pay their employees, treat their employees really good. Gotta give it up for AEW. The ratings, may not be what they want, but one thing's for sure, they take care of their employees. And they put on great matches and such. So, gotta give them credit for that. One other thing. Good old JR, Jim Ross. So he made two snafus. He addressed Kenny Omega as WWE Champion Kenny Omega. And at the end of the show, after that video package, said there's nothing like a WWE Dynamite. I'm gonna say this because I see both sides. I understand both sides of this. Number one, which I'll get to the negative first. I'll do the negative first. Number one, okay, I can understand mispronouncing somebody's name. I mean, that happens a lot. That happens. You know, quickly correct yourself, move on. It's easy to mispronounce somebody's name sometimes, especially when you're talking fast or it's a really difficult name. It's easy to mispronounce and mess up. You don't mean to, but quickly recover, do what you got to do. At the same time, a snafu like saying WWE champion instead of AEW and WWE Dynamite instead of AEW Dynamite, those aren't exactly small mistakes. Being that, you know, you're part of the team, that's the voice of AEW. I mean, it's not, I can't say it's a small mistake. I mean, I'll say this. Do I think he should be fined or fired or anything like that? No, no way, no way. But somebody should address the issues to, you know, directly with JR, either if it's, you know, to the side or in a meeting or whatnot. I mean, they should address the issues, but I don't think he should be scolded or fired or fined or anything like that. Now, unfortunately, if he made those mistakes in the WWE, he probably would get fined or fired because, you know, they're petty like that. You know, they make a snafu like that, you can kiss your job goodbye. And it sucks that it's that way, but that's how they are. But on a positive note, I can see the other side of it. Jim Ross has been doing this for years. He's a legend. He's a legend. So, you know, he's getting older. I believe he's 68 or 69. I mean, he's getting older. You know, I think he can afford a mistake here or there. And not to mention, he got on his Twitter and publicly apologized. He didn't make any excuses. He's like, "Hey, made some mistakes. I messed up. I have no excuses. I gotta be better. I gotta make up for it. I gotta do right." So I mean, he admits his mistakes. So really all is good. Move forward. You know, I don't think he should be scolded to the point where he loses his job or gets fined or anything like that. You know, I think a lot of people may feel like, you know, it's time for him to hang it up. Uh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that so much. I mean, that's his decision, but I wouldn't say that so much. But I don't know. I just feel like you can't you can't be extremely hard on him, but at the same time, you know, the issues definitely should be addressed one on one. But at the same time, it looks like they were, and he apologized. He apologized and didn't make any excuses. Hey, I messed up. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I mean, I can see both sides of it, but ultimately, I don't think it's really that big of a deal to the point where, you know, I mean, those specific mistakes. I mean, they're kind of ridiculous, but I don't think it's so bad to the point where he needs to be fined or scolded or anything like that. You know what I mean? So that's all I'll say about that. But I I don't know. I see a lot of mixed feelings towards him. Okay, let's get into some WWE. So Raw was kind of weird. Oh man, yeah. So Riddle won a battle royal to help keep Randy Orton's hopes of making the money in the bank alive. There was a note from Randy Orton in oh man, wow. I'm not even going to get into that. Shayna Baszler eats another L. Another singles L. Goodness gracious. Lost to Nikki Cross. Super thicky Nikki Cross. Who I believe now is going to be changed to Nikki ASH, which stands for Nikki Almost Superhero. Wow. Anyway, we had a segment with MVP and Kofi Kingston. They were pretty much going back and forth, building up more hype for the Money in the Bank WWE title match between Kofi and Bobby Lashley. And it ended up ending with Kofi nailing MVP with a Trouble in Paradise. MVP claiming he's hurt. He's hurt. Apparently, didn't look like he was hurt. That's for sure. But looks like Xavier Woods is going to be getting a rematch against Lashley next week. Ugh, not like we really need to see that. Piper Niven and Eva Marie, because I refuse to say that goofy, dumb name, went up against Naomi and Asuka in a rematch, which, of course, Eva Marie left Piper Niven hanging. But Piper Niven took care of business and ended up winning the match. She pinned Asuka. Ugh. Just. I mean, on a positive, Eva Marie didn't wrestle again. And Piper Niven, got to showcase more of herself. Because, like I said, Piper Niven's great in the ring. She's a great wrestler. I mean, it sucks that Naomi and Asuka had to take the loss, with Asuka taking the pin. But at least it wasn't Eva Marie that pinned her, so at least I can be happy about that. We had an incredible match between John Morrison and Ricochet that ended in crazy fashion, with Ricochet doing a springboard crossbody that hit John Morrison while he was on the barricade. I mean, he got a lot of distance on that. And it was just really good to see these two in the ring together. I really like this. John Morrison's is a little older than Ricochet, but still a great complement of styles between both these guys. But ended in a double count out, which doesn't surprise me after Ricochet did that springboard crossbody. We had a 6-woman tag match. We had Charlotte and the women's tag champions Tamina and Natalya go up against the Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley and the Sexy Muscle Friends Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose. Which, okay, I'm confused. Is Rhea a face now? Is she supposed to be a face now? Like, I'm confused. But because for a second I thought Natalya and Tamina were faces. I don't know. I'm lost. But Charlotte won with a boot. She won with a boot to the face. A freaking boot. A boot. No natural selection, no figure eight. A boot to the face. Anyway. Jackson Riker and Elias had a strap match, which Jackson Riker pretty much won easily. And that's like, what, 3 matches or so in a row that Elias has lost to Jackson Riker? Like, what the heck? I mean, So now Elias is full-time jobber now? Like, come on now. I I don't know what is up with that. I mean, now you got Shayna Baszler jobbing. Now you got Elias full-time jobbing. Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. So Riddle took Randy Orton's place in this last chance qualifier for Money in the Bank. It was Riddle versus AJ Styles versus Drew McIntyre. And ultimately, because nobody expected this at all, Drew McIntyre wins the match and he qualifies for Money in the Bank. Why am I not surprised? Just some way, somehow, Drew McIntyre's got to be in the title picture some way, somehow. So yeah, Drew McIntyre qualified for Money in the Bank, and that's Raw. So continuing on, NXT. So NXT overall was a really great show. We had the number one contender triple threat women's tag team match as Io Shirai and Zoe Stark went up against Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai and Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. This was a great match. What a way to open up this show, NXT. And this was a great match. All 6 ladies showcased very well. But ultimately, it was Zoe Stark and Io Shirai with the victory. And they are now the number one contenders to the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, held by The Ways, Candice LeRae, and Indy Hartwell. So, they will get their title shot at the Great American Bash, which is next week. Looking forward to it. Should be a really good match. And right now, Io and Zoe have great chemistry, but as Io said, she respects Zoe, but she doesn't like Zoe. So, we'll have to see what happens after this. You know, if they lose, if Io attacks Zoe or what, but we'll have to see what happens. Because I don't see Candice and Indy losing, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Roderick Strong of the new Diamond Mine had a match with Asher Hale, and he pummeled him, and then got a submission victory. That's, I know sometimes Roderick Strong uses Stronghold, but he usually doesn't get submission victories, and he used a very unique submission, and was able to get the victory over Asher Hale, also known as Anthony Henry back in Evolve. We had Cameron Grimes going up against Ari Sterling, also known as Alex Payne, which I got to see him twice. Once on a New Japan Pro Wrestling show that when they came to Durham, North Carolina, and a ROH show when they came to Concord. Dude's a really good wrestler, actually. But this was a good match. Cameron Grimes got the victory with the cave-in. Challenged LA Knight. He wants a shot at the $1 Million Championship, which LA Knight accepted on one condition. If LA Knight wins, then not only does he retain the title, but Cameron Grimes has to be his personal butler. So, that's quite a stipulation. A humiliating stipulation, but yeah, that's the deal. We had a nice in-ring segment involving Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, and even Samoa Joe. They went back and forth, building up their rivalry for O'Reilly Cole 2 at the Great American Bash. Samoa Joe was there to kind of facilitate. Adam Cole tried to go at Kyle O'Reilly, but was able to take Cole down and lock in the heel hook. Samoa Joe was not quick to break it up. He actually went out the ring, let Adam Cole suffer for a bit, and then he ordered security in to break it up. But guess you could say Samoa Joe felt like Adam Cole needed to suffer a little bit. Felt like he needed to suffer just a little bit, for provoking and almost hitting Samoa Joe, but he was able to duck. Samoa Joe let him suffer just a little bit. So that was a pretty cool segment. We also had the mixed tag team match as Xia Li and Boa of Tiansha took on Mercedes Martinez and Jake Atlas. Now, it was actually good to see some good chemistry between Jake Atlas and Mercedes Martinez. And, the ladies brawled and went at each other. It was good to finally see Boa in ring as well, especially on NXT TV. So hope to see more of him. Xia Li got the victory for her team, nailing a spin kick and just decked Mercedes Martinez in the face to the point where she caught that kick and dropped like a ton of bricks. It was so bad. It looked like she got her shoulder up on the pin attempt, but because she was still loopy, referee stopped the match. And you didn't see Mercedes on camera again after that. And yeah, apparently it was said that she was rushed to the hospital. Whew, she might have suffered a concussion, folks. I mean, she took that kick was clean and hit dead on and knocked her out. It's unfortunate because Xia Li has kind of been in a situation before, which I believe she broke Aaliyah's nose. I think same way. I think it was the same way. So I don't know if she's going to catch a lot of heat, but I mean, this is twice now, y'all. So I mean, I won't say it's as bad as Nia Jax. I mean, Nia Jax has injured like what, 10 ladies? I won't say it's that bad, but might want to keep an eye out on Xia Li, only because I mean she's a martial artist, and you nail those kicks in the wrong way, they can. I mean, you saw what happened with Mercedes, so I hope she's all right. Because word also is she has a history in the Indies of suffering from some concussions, and Mercedes, she's in her 40s, so I don't know. I hope she's all right and is able to come back and continue. But yeah, that kick was nasty. That kick was nasty. MSK and Tommaso and Toothless Timmy had a segment, had a face to face, and it was actually a really good segment. Let's see. Timothy Thatcher got, or actually, Ciampa got slapped. Yeah. This was a really good segment, and pretty much was like, all right, you got you a free one. You got you a free one. So they're going to let all the rest of their actions say for themselves in their tag title match next week at Great American Bash. I'm looking forward to this. MSK versus Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. This should be really good. This should be really good. This match could go either way, to be honest with you. You got Johnny Gargano and Karrion Kross, which Johnny Gargano's been ambushing Karrion Kross. He tried to ambush him earlier and, got the one up on him. and then just him and Austin Theory trying to take out Karrion Kross. But it wasn't enough to take down the big man. And the funny thing was, as Kross was getting ready to leave for the night, him and Scarlett, Johnny tried again, him and Austin again, to take out Karrion Kross, even hit him with his own car door a couple of times, and you would have thought that was successful. Johnny Gargano started talking junk, and then out of nowhere, just Karrion Kross just raises up, takes out Johnny Gargano, took out Austin Theory, and was actually getting ready to run over Gargano with his car. Yeah, I kid you not. He was going to run him over. But Samoa Joe made the save, dragged Johnny Gargano back into the building. But who can stop Karrion Kross? Then for the main event, we had the... also, it was said that Saray politely asked for a match with Toni Storm to Mr. Regal. So it looks like that's probably going to end up happening at the Great American Bash. I hope so. Would be nice. But anyway, North American title on the line. Swerve challenged Bronson Reed backstage. And despite attempted interference, which, the folks at Hit Row tried to do, and it seemed like it failed, but it was enough for Swerve to take advantage, hits the house call, and then hits a 450 splash, gets the 1-2-3, and Isaiah Swerve Scott is your new NXT North American champion. I'm definitely happy to see that he finally has his first championship in WWE. He should have been Cruiserweight champion way before this, but it is what it is. But yeah. On a different note, it is a bummer that Bronson Reed dropped the title. He hasn't had the title that long, hasn't defended it that much. I would have hoped that he would have had a longer title reign. But the word is, since he's been working some dark matches on the main roster, it looks like he may be getting ready for a call-up. So, if that's true, then I can understand. And it looks like, I think him and Karrion Kross have been working dark matches on the main roster. So it looks like they'll be getting called up soon. It just makes me wonder who Karrion Kross is going to drop the NXT Championship to, which I'm hoping it's Kyle O'Reilly, but we'll see. But yeah, that is your go-home show for NXT as they get ready for the Great American Bash next week. NXT UK. So this was an interesting episode. Amelia McKenzie versus Isla Dawn, which was a pretty good match. And Amelia McKenzie was able to get the victory, did like a running, kind of almost like a running Shining Wizard, kind of similar to the finisher that Riho does, actually. And she hit that on Isla Dawn. Got the 1-2-3. Isla Dawn still looking creepy and everything, even after the match. But pretty good opening match. You had Tyler Bate defend the Heritage Cup against Jack Stars. Of course, Trent Seven was by his side. This was actually a pretty good match. But ultimately, Tyler Bate was able to retain by a score of 2-1. So at least Jack Stars was able to get a pin on Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate got the first pin. Jack Stars tied it up. And then Tyler Bate was able to get the Tyler Driver 97 and get the final win. But it was definitely really good. Good match. Under Heritage Cup rules, of course. Afterwards, Mark Coffey came in raised up Tyler Bates' hand and then sucker punched him. So this may lead into a showdown between Tyler Bate and Mark Coffey. I can dig it. It's good to see Mark Coffey get some more single spotlight. So I can dig it. We had a segment where Meiko Satomura came down and gave some words, which she speaks good English. Meiko speaks good English. So as she was talking, Nina Samuels interrupted and pretty much congratulated her, but she's talking about how we need more Nina Samuels and pretty much is challenging Meiko for a shot at the title. But a male came in, took out Nina Samuels, and pretty much got in Satomura's face. Is like, no, I want that shot. I want that shot. And Meiko caught her with a right and pretty much accepted her challenge. So looks like next challenger will be a male versus Meiko Satomura. Book it. Let's do it. We got Aoife Valkyrie back in action. She took on Mila Schmidt. I think I said that right. But Aoife Valkyrie got back in the ring. Does what she did best. I love her entrance theme, by the way. Hit the Peripataya on Mila. Got the 3 count. But also during that portion, Jenny came down to get a closer look at the match. And before Aoife Valkyrie hit the Peripataya, she looked down at Jenny. And then she nailed it, got the victory. And then they had pretty much a stare-off. While Aoife was in the ring, Jenny on the outside. So it looks like they're going to be setting up maybe a rivalry between Jenny and Aoife Valkyrie. Still have no idea when Aoife Valkyrie is going to get her title shot. But I can go on about that forever. And in the main event, we had former Cruiserweight champion, the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin, going up against the former Heritage Cup champion, A-Kid. This was a back and forth match. I'm pretty sure this isn't the last time we'll see these two in a match together, hopefully. But Jordan Devlin got the victory with a really, really painful submission on A-Kid, just bending his leg backwards to the point where it's like upside down. And A-Kid had to tap out, and I was just like, ooh, man, that looks so, ugh. A leg should not bend that way. Like a kneecap, a leg, a foot should not bend that way. Honestly, though, I have mixed feelings about this, because it's like, dang, A-Kid back in the ring and you have him lose to Jordan Devlin? It's like, geez, can Jordan Devlin not take a loss? Like, it's just kind of annoying because A-Kid just lost the Heritage Cup and then turn around and gets another loss. It's like, dang. It just, I don't agree with the result. I think A-Kid should have won this. Me personally. I think he should have won this. So, because it's like they make it seem like Jordan Devlin can't lose now, even though lost the Cruiserweight Championship and such, but whichever. But that's NXT UK, and it has been revealed, and I called it. Blair Davenport, aka B. Priestley, revealed her face, and that's exactly who I thought it was. So she is coming very soon to NXT UK, and I'm looking forward to it. So we'll have to see what happens with Meiko Satomura and the rest of the women's division, because they better look out, because Blair Davenport is definitely somebody that could dethrone Meiko Satomura. Okay, and then SmackDown. which I had to catch highlights of this, but Edge did a promo, pretty much talked about how Roman Reigns is scared and that he knows that I can just take his Universal Championship. But it looks like we're finally going to get that singles match that should have been a singles match in the first place. Edge versus Roman Reigns. I'm hoping that's how this goes, because this is what should have happened at WrestleMania. Not a dang on triple threat with Daniel Bryan. It was dumb. So hopefully we'll finally get this singles match. We had Big E and Shinsuke Nakamura team up against Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews, which Baron Corbin was distracted by Rick Boogs playing on the guitar. You know, something that Baron Corbin easily falls to. Big E took advantage, hit a big ending. Winners! Shinsuke and Big E. So, there was that. Didn't seem like that long of a match. Bianca Belair and Bayley had a segment, which Bianca challenged Bayley to another title match at Money in the Bank, but this time it will be an I Quit match. I'm like, dang, they just had a Hell in a Cell match, and now we got to turn around and have a third match, an I Quit match. Dang, are they trying to find some way to put the title back on Bayley? Like, dang. I mean, can we get another challenger? Can we get another challenger for Bianca Belair? This thing with Bayley's getting kind of ridiculous. Like, come on now. But that's what's gonna happen at Money in the Bank. We had another Money in the Bank qualifying match, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, but it was a last man standing match. And wow, Kevin Owens secured that in very impressive fashion with multiple power bombs. I mean, power bomb through a table, power bomb through the announce table, power bomb on the barricade, power bomb on the ring apron. You name it, he'll power bomb you wherever. It was just stunner and then just power bomb here, power bomb there. And Kevin Owens was able to get the victory. And Kevin Owens is qualified for Money in the Bank. So even though Sami Zayn got the victory at Hell in a Cell, Kevin Owens got the payback by qualifying for Money in the Bank. Zelina Vega makes her return and is announced as the next entrant of Money in the Bank. Just like that, courtesy of Sonya Deville. Even though Liv Morgan came out and stated her case, I mean, after all, she beat Carmella, and then it's like, I'll show you again, I'll beat Zelina Vega. But yet, still, Liv Morgan is not announced for Money in the Bank. Even despite beating a returning Zelina Vega. She beat her. I mean, yeah, she grabbed a handful of tights, but she beat her. Like, what the heck? Zelina Vega eats a loss on her return? Despite being deemed qualifying for Money in the Bank just like that on the spot, but yet Liv Morgan, after now getting 2 back-to-back victories, has not qualified? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is some stupid booking. Like, dang. Whatever. Otis and Angelo Dawkins had a match. Otis got the victory. Gave Angelo Dawkins a bunch of splashes. And of course, you know, Montez Ford, he had surgery So he's in recovery. And then the ending segment was pretty much Edge taking out Jimmy Uso in the ring. I mean, just destroyed him, put him to sleep, made him go to sleep, made him tap out. And that was pretty much it. I mean, if anything, it's just more proof that Roman Reigns is using Jimmy Uso. And Jay, still no sign from Jay. But that's it for that. So far, for the men, you have Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison, and Big E that have qualified for the Money in the Bank. So I think they still got to get 2 more. Because I think it's 8. It's usually 8 people. So I think they got room for 2 more. I think will probably be from SmackDown. Because, yeah, they have... Yeah, they got 2... They got 1, 2... They only got two from SmackDown. So they'd have to get 2 more from SmackDown. Because remember, Drew, Riddle, Ricochet, and John Morrison, they're Raw. Kevin Owens and Big E are SmackDown. So probably the next 2 qualifiers will be from SmackDown. For the ladies, we got Naomi, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross from Raw, and Zelina Vega and Carmella from SmackDown. Still haven't announced Liv Morgan. I don't know what the heck they're waiting on. She, but I'm going to assume she's still going to get, qualify. And we'll have to figure out who else. Because if Bayley is not going to be in this match, then I have to figure out who else is going to be in this match to qualify. We'll see. But those are who have qualified for Money in the Bank so far. So we still need 2 ladies and two guys. Okay. And then we're going to end on this last segment. Cage side seats posted 50 greatest tag teams according to WWE. So let's go through this list. I'm going to go through this list quickly. So, and then just kind of give my overall thoughts. All right. Starting at number 50. Number 50, the Bushwhackers. And I'll also put this list in the description box so y'all can see as well. Number 50, the Bushwhackers. Number 49, Too Cool. Number 48, the Quebecers. 47, Smoking Guns. 46, Strike Force. 45, the Head Shrinkers. 44, Kane and X-Pac. 43, Batista and Ric Flair. 42, Eminem. 41, Nasty Boys. 40, Rated RKO. 39, Paul London and Brian Kendrick. 38, DIY. 37, World's Greatest Tag Team. 36, Money Inc. 35, Chris Jericho and The Big Show, aka Jera Show. Number 34, The Natural Disasters. Number 33, The Street Profits. Number 32, Jack and Gerald Briscoe. Number 31, The Bludgeon Brothers. Number 30, The British Bulldog and Owen Hart. 29, Miz and Morrison. 28, The Bar. 27, Team Hell No. 26, Nikolai Volkov and the Iron Sheik. 25, Los Guerreros. 24, APA. 23, The Blackjacks. 22, The Shield. 21, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Number 20, The Undisputed Era. Number 19, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas. Number 18, Toru Tanaka and Mr. Fuji, which I believe are known as the Orient Express, I believe. Number 17, the Steiner Brothers. Number 16, the Rock and Sock Connection. Number 15, the Wild Samoans. 14, the Rockers. 13, the Mega Powers. Number 12, the Valiant Brothers. Number 11, Demolition. And for the top 10, number 10, the British Bulldogs. Number 9, the Brothers of Destruction. Number 8, the New Age Outlaws. Number 7, the Usos. Number 6, the Legion of Doom. Number 5, the Dudley Boys. Number 4, Edge and Christian. Number 3, the Hart Foundation. Number 2, the Hardy Boys. And number 1, the New Day. Okay. No Revival. They don't have the Revival on there. You can have DIY and the Street Profits on there, but you can't have the Ascension, pretty much longest reigning NXT Tag Team Champions. No American Alpha, no AOP, no Authors of Pain. I mean, I didn't think Rated RKO would be number 40. Batista and Ric Flair making the list, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, but like I said, these are according to WWE. So these are, WWE tag teams and such. So but yeah, I guess. I don't know. For a lot of people, the New Day being number 1 may be a little bit crazy. But I mean, I don't know. I really feel like the Revival should have been on there, and at least the Ascension should have been on there. I mean, the Ascension, the longest reigning tag NXT tag champs, and they were a beast. But I don't know. But I don't know. Y'all have to let me know what y'all think of that list. Like I said, I'll link it in the description box. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have for this episode. Like I said, quite a bit to look forward to. We got Yokohama Dream Cinderella coming up 4th of July. We got the Great American Bash NXT coming up. We got Road Rager coming up for AEW. So quite a good bit to look forward to. Should be fun. Should be really fun. But yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all are looking forward to, what y'all think about what we covered today. And I'm just looking forward to next week we'll be able to cover AEW Road Rager, Great American Bash, Yokohama Dream Cinderella. Get excited. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any video. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram of Blitzball Champ Gaming, bringing you another episode of Pro Wrestling Talk. Thank y'all for watching. Hope everybody has a blessed Independence Day, and I will see y'all soon. Peace out.